Good morning. We're in Isaiah chapter 25. As you read through this book, it's filled with prophecies. Some of them are pretty hard to understand. I know I still have trouble, even though I've taught through this book many times. I have to go back and refresh myself on the circumstances of those prophecies and what was happening historically. And it can be quite a workout. But we also encounter verses of great beauty. And some of them here in this chapter are truly remarkable. It begins in verse 1 saying, O Lord, I will honor and praise your name, for you are my God. You do such wonderful things. You planned them long ago, and now you have accomplished them. You turn mighty cities into heaps of ruins. Cities with strong walls are turned to rubble. Beautiful palaces in distant lands disappear and will never be rebuilt. Therefore, strong nations will declare your glory. Ruthless nations will fear you. But you are a tower of refuge to the poor, O Lord, a tower of refuge to the needy in distress. You are a refuge from the storm, a shelter from the heat. For the oppressive acts of ruthless people are like a storm beating against a wall, or like the relentless heat of the desert. But you silence the roar of foreign nations. As the shade of a cloud cools relentless heat, so boastful songs of ruthless people are stilled. In Jerusalem, the Lord of heaven's armies will spread a wonderful feast for all the people of the world. It will be a delicious banquet, with clear, well-aged wine and choice meat. There he will remove the cloud of gloom, the shadow of death that hangs over the earth. He will swallow up death forever. The sovereign Lord will wipe away all tears. He will remove forever all insults and mockery against his land and his people. The Lord has spoken. In that day the people will proclaim, This is our God. We trusted in him, and he saved us. This is the Lord in whom we trusted. Let us rejoice in the salvation he brings. Such amazing, amazing words. Talking about the Lord caring for his people, and bringing an end forever to all the distress that we encounter in this world. Gathering his people for a beautiful banquet. And he says in verse 8 something so amazing. The shadow of death that hangs over all the earth, the thing that everyone fears in the end. He says that he will swallow up death forever. No more death. And God will wipe away all tears. When we read those verses, it reminds me anyway of the book of Revelation in chapter 20 when we see the great white throne judgment. It says in verse 14, Then death and Hades were cast into the lake of fire, and this is the second death. So death, our great enemy, is once and for all defeated by our God, and death dies. Isn't that an amazing thought? Such a profound thought that many years ago, a man by the name of John Donne wrote a beautiful poem about it called Death Be Not Proud. And I would encourage you to read through it. It's very beautifully written. But the last two verses say it all for the Christian. One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die. Our God is wonderful. Our God is victory. Our God is a tower and a refuge. Our God is the one who will defeat every enemy. And I know that there are days when I really need to hear that. Days when I'm feeling tired, days when I'm feeling stressed, days when you feel like you can't really go on. It's good to know how it all ends, with a great victory, with a marvelous feast, and with eternal life in the presence of our God, and we will praise his name forever. You can get a jump on it now and begin shouting for joy, for our God reigns. Have a good day. Bye.